In your heart, or in your mind, in your eyes, in your hair, in your feet, in your hands? Where he is? Where is you? Where? Everywhere? If a person, one of his hands were cut, do you think a part of the soul has been cut with the hand? Where is the soul? Where? In the chest? If a person changes his heart, now we make transparent to the heart, what will happen? He will take another. It is impossible till now by science to discover where are you. Nobody. Even the greatest scientists cannot say where I am. I believe and I trust I exist, or you do not exist. If you is nil, you do not exist. I exist. I believe I have my soul. I am totally different than any other creature on the world. Whatever this creature. I am truly, I exist. I am sure, but I don't know where I am, but within me. What is the limits? Can I pass over the body? Can or not? What's your answer? I tell you another story. I remember once I visited a group of the students in Alexandria. And I found one of the person came from Upper Egypt. It was the first time he left his village in Upper Egypt. And he was weeping. I said, why you are weeping? All of them started to say, it is our situation. Every person on the first year when he left his country, always he is suffering what we call homesickness. He said, no, Father, my father has died this moment. I said, how do you say that? They said, oh, all of us said that. He said, no, I am sure my father died this hour. I said, don't be worried. We will send at that time, there is no emails and no, that time by telegraph or by phones. I know now there is no telegraphs. We sent a telegraph to the village. Please tell us about the health of my father, and we signed his name and said, okay. For the following day, it was the day for an exam. He was a student in the faculty or school of medicine in Alexandria. After a couple of hours, we received a telegraph. Your father is sick. Don't be in trouble. Please, after the exam, come to the village. All of us, we astonished. How he acknowledged that his father is sick. When he went, in the moment when he said, now my father died, it was the same moment in which his father truly died. How he knows that? Can any person explain to me? They said there is a sixth sense. This is the science said. There is another senses, 5 senses in the soul, and one they call the sixth because they can't explain it or analyze it or give a scientific interpretation of it, and said, oh, the person can know by another sense which we cannot know. Then I can say, even ourselves, it is too hard. There are many question marks about ourselves. For me, I don't know where I am, what is my limits, and many, many questions till now science cannot give answer. It means, if it is concerning me, what about my Lord who created me? God created man. In fact, according, I think, Saint Gregory of Nyssa says that man is the marvelous creature in the whole world, not only on earth, but even in heaven. How is it? If you look to yourself, We can say man is micro world. We looks like the birds. Now you can fly by flight by aeroplanes. But can you fly like the bird? Who can fly? Who has the ability to fly, the man or the bird? Bird. We have from the birds the ability to fly, but we are very weak in flying. We share the animals, the body. We know even some animals have some shape like man, but there is totally different between us and them. We cannot make any link between animal and man, even when they try to make that there is evolution, but there are, even the scientists said there are many lost stages. We cannot pass from stage to other, especially to man himself. We looks like in our body some animals. Who more stronger, lion or man? Lion, surely. Who more huge, elephant or man? Then we looks like the bird. We share the bird something, but we are very weak even from birds in flying. We looks like animals, but we are very weak in strength and in the size sometimes of some animals. We share also even the irrational and even the earth and the what is unliving things like the earth itself, like mountains and so on, but there is no comparison. If you be in desert, you look to yourself, oh, how can I compare myself with the desert? Or if you are among the clouds, you feel you are very little and you will be very afraid. Imagine you are among the clouds. What do you think about yourself? One of the fathers said, we share the angels. We have the spirit. But also at the same time, when we compare ourselves with the angels, archangels, and so on, we are very weak. We haven't the same superiority of the heavenly host. I say man, in fact, has everything within him. He is the greatest because he is micro, I can say, world, earth and heaven. At the same time, he is very weak in many aspects from all of them. God wants us to be icon of God. We are His special children. We feel that we are special and interested in me. He created me, as we heard in the book of Genesis. When He created Adam, He granted him authority over earth, over birds, over seas, over space. Now we can even be by the ship space wherever, or in many places, if it is correct scientifically. God grants us what is very marvelous. And then every century we say, oh, how miserable are the old generations. They haven't computers. We can't imagine now. Can you imagine you live without computers? You can't. We say, I myself now, I say, how I lived for a long time without computers. After 20 years, something will appear and said, oh, how miserable those who lived in the 21st century who haven't this new thing. God made the man to be creative. It means he wants to be an icon of God. And at the same time, although he is proud, now we are proud, but we have the computers. I can speak with some. I remember one of the priests has more than 60,000 persons in the emails. he can send a message to 60,000 in 1 minute or 1 second. From 20 or 30 years to send to 20,000, it needs 5 years to write letters to send to everyone, and most of them will be lost by all means. The following generations will laugh and mock and say, oh, how they were very miserable. God wants us to be proud that God granted us this mind, which is always creative, and we feel we are children of God, and at the same time we know that we are very, very weak, and what we now attain will be nothing for the new generation. By this, we give thanks to God, who is dwelling within us, creating in us the new ideas, and helping us even in science itself, in knowledge itself. At the same time, in humbleness, we believe that what we have received, we are at the shore of science, because God created what we can't understand. And even the following generations, although they will know more and more, they feel always that what they receive, it is on the shore. Usually, the person, when he starts to know science, he expects in himself as he is a god. He knows everything. When he entered in the researches and be involved sincerely, he discovered that he is on the shore and says, oh, what I have learned and discovered even new things to the world, it is on the shore. I am in need to discover more and more. I remember once a person, he was in Russia. You know, Russia at that time was communist. And he was making PhD in something concerning the military in Egypt at the days of Gamal Abdel Nasser. And the embassy of Egypt gave him some tickets for what at the time cinemas. And he took 2 tickets to the supervisor and who made under his supervision the PhD, and said, these 2 tickets for you and for your wife. He looked to the tickets and said,